Of course, from the municipality. Speaking of which, two prominent KwaZulu-Natal water boards have announced their merger. Umgeni and Mhlathuze Water are merging to form uMngeni-uThukela Water. Well, the amalgamation is aimed at streamlining operations and further enhancing service delivery. But how clean will the water flow? Of course, be after both entities are tainted by corruption. eNCA reporter Dasen Thathiah joins us with the latest. And Dasen, it seems corruption being quite a thorn at these municipalities, for just in terms of maintenance of water infrastructure, corruption being attributed to the lack of it thereof.
So at a high level, or broadly speaking, that's where the water boards come in, and that's where we've seen this corruption exist at that level. One hopes that now with the formation of the new entity, that, as you indicated in that intro, that there is a cleaner approach, not just with the water, but also with the books and the deals that go on behind closed doors. But if you bring it down here to the municipality and Durban in particular, that's where we now specifically talk about the issues of infrastructure. That is the infrastructure that is meant to deliver the water that is bought from the water board to the residents of eThekwini. And unfortunately, apart from the floods and all of the damage we've seen there, that doesn't seem to be happening without hiccups. So this has unfortunately become fairly normal in many parts of the country, and eThekwini is no different. Being a metro, there are a number of people to serve here. So I want to bring in now Thabani Mthethwa, who's with the Democratic Alliance. It's something that your party has also been, as an opposition party, it's also been dealing with here, or grappling with here. Just from where you sit, I want to understand what this picture looks like and why it would appear that residents are not necessarily getting the consistent service that they require.
Look, from around 2016 or so, water and sanitation as a department in eThekwini has been notorious for exhausting their annual budget at least 3 to 4 months into every new financial year. There has been allegations of corruption to the fact that some contractors are said to be getting paid without doing any job. But unfortunately, such reports get swept under the carpet. So there are issues of corruption, there are issues of mismanagement of the city's funds, yes, and that result in the people of eThekwini not getting the service that they deserve.
And we're seeing it quite frequently, more so, I guess, in the aftermath of the floods. But what will it take? Let's assume that this level of corruption is rooted out. Are we at a point now where it's too far gone? What will it take to actually get the system where it needs to be?
Before the floods, we were made aware that the city needed more than 120 billion to attend to infrastructure repairs, water and sanitation infrastructure repairs. Obviously, after the floods, that would have increased. So I don't think that the city is allocating enough budget to attend to fixing the infrastructure, because much of the water, in fact, more than half of the water that the city buys from Umgeni Water get lost. In fact, more than 60% of that water get lost somewhere in the system. No one knows where it goes. So we are losing billions because of infrastructure that can't cope with the demand of supply.
On the one hand, you talk about us losing billions. I think it's also been well publicized, even by the National Ministry has been saying that eThekwini is problematic when it comes to water loss. But by contrast, there are also areas of eThekwini as a metro that haven't been reached in terms of access to water.
If you talk to areas like Wat 67, Wat 100 and the likes, those people don't have access to running water. They are dependent on water tankers which do not deliver water each and every day. So there are areas in eThekwini that don't have running water as we speak. Apart from the issues of infrastructure, there are areas that do not receive constant water supply from the city.
So let me ask you a complicated question and ask you for a short answer in response. So what do citizens do? What are you as the opposition doing? What can you do? If we're talking about a situation that requires more than 120 billion, is it even possible to fix this?
Look, this is the fight that we take each and every council meeting, each and every executive committee meeting. This is the fight that as a DA we take to the city officials, the senior management. But I think there has to be political will to resolve these issues from the ANC as the leading party. Unless you have that political will from the ANC as the governing party in eThekwini, you're not going to be able to resolve this issue. There has to be the will to prioritize the budget to areas that need that budget the most.
Appreciate your time. Tabani Mthethwa from the Democratic Alliance. We have also reached out to the eThekwini municipality. We're hoping that we will be able to speak to someone there, as well as the uMngeni-uThukela Water Board, that new body, to give us some indication of what's being done to deal with these issues that have now been raised by both residents as well as opposition parties that are operating in this space.
All right, and we'll be sure to get a hold of them and find out from them exactly what their word is, of course, after some of these concerns. Thank you so much, Dasen Thathiah, for the latest update.